श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाभिनवस्मरणं श्री भारती तीर्थचरणों देवशरणं मम. Hello, I am myself Dr. Sridhar Vasudevan Iyer, and I am going to my topic for the Shankara festival is Anna Vichara, a study of the Prakarana Granthas of Shankaracharya in the light of the principal Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita. Upanishads, you see, they form the end section of the Veda Vangmaya, and are as such known as Vedanta. The Purva Bhaga comprising of Samhita, Brahmana and Aranyakas. The Upanishads stand at the threshold such that on one side the ritual portion which precedes them, and on the other side the Sutra Bhashya portion. They thus reflect the ritualistic nature of the earlier portion by prescribing some ritual or referring to a ritual from the Vedas. Being the first part of the latter philosophical section, they herald the latter 5 philosophical traditions. They are thus the seeds of philosophy embedded in the Vedas, which sprouts in the Gita, is nourished by the Sutra and develops well in the Bhashya literature. Okay, our topic is Annam, Anna Vichara, that is what we are going to do. Annam or cooked food. We come across the mention of Annam as early as the Vedas, as also the types of food, the process, particular type of food for a special deity or an occasion. Cooking food and then eating food all alone without sharing was never accepted or lauded by the Vedikas. Food had to be cooked, processed, then offered to the deities, to the guests, the special invitees, to the needy, and finally it was to be consumed by self. Consumed by self by proper rituals mentioned for the householder, that is of Agnihotra, Vaishvadeva, Pranahuti, etc. And such partaking of food was known as Yajñavashishta, and the householder or Yajamana who had the fires set and maintained in the house. The concept was further developed, and we have the idea of Bhutabali, Nru Yajna, where food was offered to the living beings around oneself, be it the domesticated or the undomesticated beings, as well as an unannounced guest at the door, Athithi. Eating all alone, that is devouring, was never appreciated, and as such Annam formed an essential and important item of donation, Annadanam. This paper analyzes the concept of Annam on different aspects based on an analysis of the Prakarana Granthas of Bhagavatpada Shankara, the Upanishads commented by Acharya, the Bhagavad Gita also commented by the Acharya. Thus, 2 of the 3 prasthanas are taken for study, and an analysis on the various references, correlation of concepts, development of thoughts, and philosophical relevance are mapped. Annam, the cooked grain, especially rice, forms major part of one's diet. This annam, accompanied by various cooked vegetables and spices which supplement the diet, nourish the body and strengthens the human being. Annam forms the first of the Panchakosha and is the most gross of all the layers, koshas. Acharya in Smatma Nirupanam, a Prakarana Grantha, says, Vapuridamannamakyah Kosham Nama Jado. This body is the kosha known as Annamaya. Technically, the mayat suffix indicates prachuryam or abundance. And since this body is composed of food matter, mostly it is known as Annamaya Kosha. The earlier reference to Annam occurs in the Bhrigu Varuna Samvada of the Taittiriya Upanishad. Bhrigu is the son of Varuna and also the student of Varuna. He approaches his father with a doubt. He sincerely wants to know about Brahman. He is an enthusiastic student, carries on the experiment, notes his observations, analyzes them, records his findings, he states, and I quote it in a step-by-step manner. The Bhrigu from Taittiriya Upanishad, Dvitiya Anuvaka. Anna eva khalu imani bhutani jayante, annena jatani jivanti, annam prayatya visamvishanti, annam brahmeti vyajana. See the step-by-step deduction and analysis of the Upanishads. The Aitareya Upanishad, also commented by the Acharya, says this story about creation. As the Creator created humans, man, the presiding deities took their positions in the different organs of man. Hunger and thirst, therefore finding no separate place, were accommodated into the body as aspects of the particular sense organs. Aitareya 1-5. And whatever food was offered to a particular deity, it became a part of their satisfaction also. Even now, humans can experience this, hunger in different forms of sight, hearing. You want to hear lovely music, you want to see some good sights. Taste, the taste buds, you want to eat more and more. Senses, you like some touch, feelings, and sensual pleasures. Tamashanam dipasi abrutam avabhyam abhiprajani iti te apravi etasu eva vam devasu. So it continues. To satisfy hunger and thirst, he, the Creator, activated the waters and produced a gross entity which was designated as Annam. Aitareya 1:3-2 and 3. Annam was produced, but when it understood that its birth was its end, it started to run away. The different deities of the organs tried to catch it in their own specialized ways, but were unsuccessful. Finally, the Purusha with Apanavayu, with the mouth as the entry, pushes the food into the Jatara. Aitareya 1:3-10. Tat apanena ajigrukshat tat avayat sayesha annasya graha yat vayuhu annavayuhu va yat yeshaha yat annavayuhu. The Upanishad records the journey of food from the mouth to the stomach and the release of the energy thereby. This same thought is carried further. You find its development in the Bhagavad Gita, and the Gita Acharya says, Bhagavad Gita 4:29, apane juhvati pranam prane apanam tadha pare. And Bhashyakara Bhagavad Shankara explains this as apana vrittau juhvati prakshipanti pranam, that is prana vrittim. Further, mukhanasika vayoho gamanam pranasya gatihi. It is the movement of air, the breath control, the inhaling, the exhaling, and the food that goes in the proper manner gets into the stomach and ignites the gastric fire and satisfies it. But how does one get the feeling of thirst and hunger? Have you ever wondered? Yes, our Acharya, Bhagavad Pada, has wondered and he records. He says in the Swatma Prakashika, Prana Sanchara Sanshosha Pipasa Jayate Khalu 63a and Nadishu Pidyamanasu Vayuvagnibhyam Bhave Kshuda 64a. When pranavayu which moves through in the body gets dried up, parched, thirst is generated. We refer to this now even now as parching thirst, right? And to satisfy this again, another combo of wind air, that is H2O. H2O, you know, it is water, is used. When the nadi are compressed by the dual force of fire and wind, Jataragni and Pranavayu, hunger is produced. To satisfy the pangs of hunger, first ahuti or oblations are offered to the gastric fire known as pranahutis. Scientifically also, first few morsels are consumed to trigger the gastric fire, release of digestive juices such that when food is eaten, it gets digested. Purnahuti. The act of eating enjoins the enjoyer to the enjoyable food such that that which was once external is merged into the body and becomes one with the bhoktru. Acharya in the Advaita Anubhuti explains, Bhoktra bahir yatha bhogyaha sarpo drishadikalpitaha Rupashiladayaschatma bhogo bhogyaswarupakaha. He has given the example of Sarpo Drishadikalpita. You will find many snakes sculpted on stones and placed. Now we call it as a snake or you call it as a stone. In the Gita, the cooked food is mentioned of three major types. We are all aware of it. Satvika, Rajasika and Tamasika, and as such it is liked by the people of three major type of temperament. Bhagavad Gita chapter 17 verse 7. Aharastvapi sarvasya trividho bhavati priyaha. And Acharya comments as follows: Aharanam cha rasyam snigdadi vargatraya rupena bhinnanam yathakramam satvika rajasa तामस पुरुष प्रियत्व दर्शनम इह क्रियते रस्य स्निग्धादिषु आहार विशेषेषु आत्मनः प्रीत्यतिरेकेण लिंगेन. These food reflect the cuisine thoughts of the Bharatiyas. This food, which was to satisfy the appetite and taste buds, was different from the Havishyanna. Thus, cooked food was broadly classified into two main types. One, which was cooked, processed, and prepared with various ingredients and accompanied with spices to enhance its flavor, taste, color and texture. It was known as Bhojanannam. The other, as mentioned above, is the Havishyanna, which was accompanied with ghee and sometimes a liberal mixture of jaggery. These were used to the gods as Havis, to the mains as Pindas, to the accompaniment of Swaha and Swada respectively. Further ahead in the same chapter, that is chapter 17, the Gita Acharya elaborately describes the type and function of the Satvikadi Bhojanam in 4 verses, that is verse 7, 8, 9 and 10. As we pursue the Gita further, in the succeeding verse, that is verse 13, and I read it. Vidihinam asprushthanam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasim parichakshate. Well, this verse comes in the context of the description of 3 types of yajnas, but this can be related to the Brahmana Bhojana, which forms part of the Kameshti or the Shraddha rite. This term, the terms I am explaining it, Vidihinam can be understood as the food prepared without maintaining the cleanliness standards, modern day cleanliness standards, or is outsourced. Asrishtam annam, the food which was not earlier offered to the Brahmanas. Bhagavad Pada in the Bhashya states, Brahmanebhyo na srishtam na dattam annam yasmin yajni tat asrishtannam. Mantrahinam, not accompanied with proper invocations or chantings and directed to the particular deities or to the mains. Adakshinam, without proper fee and carried out mechanically without any trust or belief, that is Shraddha Virahitam. One thing is clear and fixed, that food which is cooked, it should not be eaten all alone. One should not devour or gobble the food that he has produced. One means here I refer to the family members. It should be offered, should be shared or donated and then eaten. And when offered, the gods reciprocate this gratitude behavior of men with return gifts. Bhagavad Gita 3:12. Ishtan bhogan ihavo deva dasyante yajna bhavitaah tair dattan apradayebhyo yo bhunte stena eva sah. Whereas the one who eats without offering is condemned as a thief. The Bhashyakara explains this act of self-gratification as yaha bhunte swadehendriyanyeva tarpayati stena eva, that is taskaraha eva saha devadisu apahari. Whereas the one having offered and partaken the remnant food are virtuous souls. Bhagavad Gita 3:13. Yajnashishtashinas santo munchante sarvakilbishaihi bhunjante te tu agham papam ye pachantyatmakaranat. The Bhashyakara Bhagavad Pada says that Yajnashishtashinah munchante sarvakilbishaihi. Now what are the kilbisha? Chulyadi pancha sunakritaihi pramadakrita himsa janitaihi cha anyaihi. Cooking involves killing and is as such condemned as a heinous act. The good people, when they offer the cooked food to the domestic fires that they have maintained and eat after performing the Vaishwadeva ritual, they are absolved of the crime and sin involved in cooking and eating. Acharya says that the one who disregards this ancient belief system, behaves in a free way lifestyle, is termed by Acharya, he has coined a term called as Atmarayaha. Now Acharya further hammers the same thought in the Shatashloki, verse 20. Annam devadibhyo arpitam amrutam ida cha anyata mogamannam यश्च आत्मार्थं विधत्ते तदिह निगदितं मृत्युरूपं हि तस्य लोके असौ केवलाभो भवति तनुभृतां केवलादी च यः स्यात् त्यक्त्वा प्राणाग्निहोत्रं विधिवत् अनुदिनं यो अश्नुते सोऽपि मर्त्यः. Now a question comes, I'll be explaining this just below. Now question comes, whom to offer and what is the criteria for offering food? Further, offering to whom does the food offering attain futility? Acharya in the Shatashloki states, the food which is offered by the householder for the gods and the one who has approached seeking for it, annam deva atitibhyo arpitam annam amritam. That offering of food to the hungry, to the weakened being is equal to the act of sacrificial offering, and the one who practices this piety is termed as bhoja, or a grand donor, and he as such does not have an enemy. Loke bhojaha sa eva arpayati आगताया अर्थिने अन्नम कृषाय यस्तस्मै पूर्णमन्नं भवति मखविदौ जायते अजातशत्रुः. Shatashloki 21a. Only that food which is offered and shared, that becomes equal to the celestial amritam. Otherwise, that food is waste, moghamannam. This food, devoid of offering in the Agnihotra ritual, the pranahuti, etc., he is a mere mortal, and the food he eats is death. Tasya mrityu rupam. In the Prabodha Sudhakara, Acharya speaks about the unsatisfied nature of the stomach, which triggers all human activities and endeavors, and in this process the chit, chetaha, the chit aspect is activated to think in a million ways to earn and satisfy the cravings of the stomach. Durbhara jatara nimittam samuparjayitum pravartate chittam lakshavadi bahuvyam kapaddika matram. Acharya praises the donor, censors the seeker, and refrains those who feed those who are already well fed, and scoffs those who take pride in feeding their friends. And I quote the Shatashloki 21b. Sakye na annarthine yo arpayati na sa sakha seva manaya nityam samsaktaya annam asmat vimukha iva paravrittim ichet kadaryat. Such an offering is turned off as if someone is offering a pinda, and I read it as sansaktamannam is pinda, which has been made tied into a ball. Acharya says, do not offer food to a friend, a person who is not in need, not hungry. People, friends, walk away and they try to avoid us. In the Prabodha Sudhakara, verse 45, Acharya gives a beautiful description of the ungrateful human nature which forgets what it has eaten from whom, and when it does not get, it humiliates the donor and displays ingratitude. Ashnanti chet anudinam vandina iva varnayanti santruptaha. When they eat every day, they praise the person who offers as a great donor. तच्चेत् वित्रागिनानन्तरम् अभिनिन्दन्तः प्रकुप्यन्ति. And after 2 or 3 days they get angry and they criticize. Acharya thus beautifully portrays human psychology. Praise when you get, curse when not. Food has been mentioned both as Amritam and as Bheshajam by the Acharya. This is for the Mumukshu, the Sannyasi. In the Dhanyashtakam, he says to the seeker of Brahman who has given up the Eshanatraya, Putreshana, Vitteshana and Lokeshana, Tyaktva Yeshanatrayam Avekshita Mokshamargam Bhakshamrutena Parikalpita Dekhayatra. One should eat the Bhikshanna as one consumes Amritam, very less, to keep oneself alive and going. Bhikshannam is described in the Upadesha Panchakam as a medicine which is to be used to treat the disease known as hunger. Kshutyadishcha chikitsatam ratidinam bhikshaushadam cha bhujyatam. Food, friends, food is not a necessity for the mumukshu. It is just a need to keep the body alive till it drops by itself. Food was thus medicine and elixir, amritam, to keep the mortal frame in proper condition till it drops by itself, and the soul which is released merges with the Paramatma, thus echoing the thoughts of the Upanishad, Annam Brahmeti Vyajana. Following the path prescribed by the Gita Acharya, I complete it with the quoting from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, which is very famous. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. I thank the Advaita Academy for giving me an opportunity to take part in this seminar. Thank you so much. I thank my Guru, Dr. Gauri Maurikar, for being my guide and guiding me every now and then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hari Om.